New reports suggest that Daenerys Targaryen might be the DCEU's Zatanna. Let's break it down. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Smash that like button and let's get right into this report. This is coming from the Cultured Nerd. The report says sources close to the Cultured Nerd have confirmed that Emilia Clarke is the frontrunner for the role of Zatanna Zatara on HBO Max. While the casting is not yet a done deal, Clarke is the main actress in talks for the role in the iconic DCEU Magician. Our sources say talks are far along enough that concept art has already been worked on with Clarke as the character. This would make her the first name attached to Bad Robot's universe of Justice League Dark films and series coming to HBO Max in the near future. Clarke has been a fan favorite for a DC role for quite some time, so it seemed inevitable that DC property would eye her for a project. It is currently unknown if Zatanna will have her own solo standalone film or series on the streaming platform, though she would, of course, appear with a host of Justice League Dark characters such as John Constantine, Deadman, and Etrigan the Demon. And so I think the first place to start here is, although good relations with the Cultured Nerd we have, I would want to just caution everybody that we're not entirely sure how reliable these guys are with their sources and scoops. I think it all sort of hangs on this big Ben Affleck is coming back to the Batman role sort of thing. So if that is announced at DC Fandom, maybe we'll look back at this scoop and in the future take more of what the Cultured Nerd says into account. I feel as though we have to sort of say that as a disclaimer, because although I have heard them out and I do think Ben Affleck is coming back, if he does not, well, folks, they're in trouble over there. Now, the next place I want to take this video is just discussing Emilia Clarke as an actress. They say in this article that she's a fan favorite for a DCEU role, and I know a lot of people love Emilia Clarke as Daenerys Targaryen, obviously one of the most iconic roles ever, but I don't know how many people actually think she has acting chops and how many people actually want to see her come into these big pop culture roles. And so I'm asking you, person watching this video with obviously some interest in the Zatanna character, how would you feel with the Mother of Dragons taking a shot at Zatanna Zatara? Do you think that's a good idea? Because for me personally, I'm not so sure about this. I don't know if Emilia Clarke actually has a lot of range as an actress. I was not really impressed with pretty much anything she's done outside of Game of Thrones. Now, that's not to be mean. I actually think she's an incredible person. I think she's super sweet, obviously completely drop-dead gorgeous, but I just don't know if she brings what you need for a character like Zatanna. But I'm curious, of course, as to what you think about this, so let us know in the comment section below. Now, this interestingly ties into a report from Jeremy Conrad, who runs MCU Cosmic and DCEU Mythic. He did a report on July 3rd talking about how Warner Brothers has begun development on a Zatanna movie. And this was corroborated by a lot of other people, including Humberto Gonzalez. Humberto Gonzalez giving the thumbs up on the Zatanna movie development, or at least being in the early stages. And what Jeremy reported, I believe in response to this report from the Cultured Nerd, is this. He says, just an FYI, the Zatanna project is very early. Number one, there's no script yet. Number two, there's no director. And number three, without one and two, there's no front runner for the role. It's also unclear if it is for HBO Max or if this is theatrical. When Warner Brothers first started talking about it, it was theatrical. Okay, so you can see sort of a divide there between Jeremy Conrad and the folks over at the Cultured Nerd, which if you've been paying attention to that narrative about Ben Affleck, you will already know is a division that exists. However, I don't actually think they're both so on the opposite sides of this thing. To me, it seems like, yeah, there's absolutely plans to develop something with Zatanna. This just makes sense because they are casting this character likely for Justice League Dark, for a Zatanna solo project, and maybe even for something with Constantine. And again, we don't know. Is this going to be something on HBO Max? Is this going to be a show, a movie? Is it going to come out in theaters? There's a lot of unanswered stuff here, but I don't think what Jeremy's actually saying on Twitter discounts the fact that there could be someone that Warner Brothers badly wants for this role. I remember back to the first reports about Bad Robot and J.J. Abrams actually going over to do stuff in the Justice League Dark universe. And when that story first broke, the biggest takeaway for me was that Bad Robot and JJ was looking for A-list celebrities. They were going after big names for the Justice League Dark. They wanted big actors. And Emilia Clarke, even though, as I've said earlier in this video, isn't exactly an incredible, friggin' award-winning actress. Has she won any awards, chat? Like, I'm gonna feel really stupid if she has. However, it's without a doubt that she's one of the biggest actresses as far as brand recognition, name recognition. She's huge, dude. She's the mother of dragons. Come on. Of course, Khaleesi would be a big get for this project. And you know, another thing that could actually make this make a lot of sense is the fact that Emilia Clarke might not be hotly pursued by many other studios. I mean, I'm sure she's pursued, but maybe not like aggressively. So maybe they could sign a multi-picture, multi-appearance deal with Emilia Clarke, and that would be easier than signing a big deal for another actress such as like Emily Blunt, who is probably just as big of a brand, but likely pursued more by studios because of the talent that she brings to the table. Again, not meant to be a personal shot. I just mean to say that Emilia Clarke is a huge brand that is probably less desired by studios, so you could lock her in for more movies or appearances. I think the bottom line here is that there's a Zatanna project coming out, and Warner Brothers is looking to cast this Zatanna, and they're looking for a big name. That's already established without even talking about the new report. The new report suggests that this big name that Warner Brothers is looking at is Emilia Clarke. I don't see any reason why these things can't all exist together. And the big takeaway is the Justice League Dark stuff that Bad Robot is developing is going to be a very big part of what Warner Brothers does moving forward, which I personally think is a brilliant idea. A lot of this stuff carries over into the animated universe, where characters like Zatanna and Constantine and Etrigan have played a huge role in things that happen even with Justice League and Teen Titan members. They're an important part of the DC mythos and lore, and I think it's great that they're going to be brought out onto live action and play a big role in whatever DC is planning to do next. But that's the big report out there, guys. We need to know what you think about this. Would you be cool with Khaleesi being Zatanna? Do you buy this report? And what do you think about DC putting a big focus on the Justice League Dark universe moving forward in live action? Let us know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. And now let's shout out B. Gillen. Yes, indeed, it's Deborah Chow that is rumored to be the director of Captain Marvel 2. And now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I want to know, what special way does Zatanna say words in order to use her magic in DC Comics? Answer that question in the comment section below. A reminder to everyone that tomorrow night, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, another epic episode of the Nerd Card Showdown, our cool trivia game, takes place. Whoever wins this one goes to the finals. You are not going to want to miss it. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.